Hi, today I'm going to show you how I built a gravel box for my pickup truck out of mostly scrap materials. I've had this pickup for quite a while, so it's pretty beat up, but it's been a good pickup. I've got the economy bed liner in there, a 5/8 inch piece of 4x8 plywood. So I started out building this 4x4 box made out of 3/4 inch plywood on the bottom and 2x10s on the sides, so that I could shovel right into that and shovel out of it from the back of the truck. One of the problems is this tailgate is lower and has a big crack where the hinge is, so all the stuff could fall in there when I'm shoveling. So I built this little shelf just to go on the tailgate. It's just another piece of plywood with a 2x2 that I ripped down to size to fit in the slot where the hinge is. I use these old scrap 2x4s cut to size just to hold that gravel box from sliding forward in the truck. When you're shoveling out of the truck, you want a nice flat surface so that you can get your shovel underneath that gravel, and that makes it a lot easier, because if you're digging right into the pile of gravel, you're digging against them rocks trying to push against the edge of the shovel. But if you're underneath, it goes like that. The other thing I built for this box was this end piece that just slides into the end of the box here. That way, if I got a big load of gravel or dirt in here, I don't have to worry about it falling out onto here. Now I can either drive the truck like this, or I can just take this off and throw it right into the truck, close the tailgate. Well, after a few trips of the gravel pit, shoveling the gravel into the truck by myself, I decided it was time to move that gravel box to the front of the truck and let the gravel pit people fill it up with their loader instead. But that left me with the problem of all these exposures to the gravel landing in places that'd be hard to shovel out of and hard to clean the truck up. So I needed to build some extensions to my gravel box. What I did is I took some more 2x10s and some scrap lumber and built extensions to go to the back of the truck. This one just slides like this, and that little cleat will slide behind the other gravel box and hold it in place. And then this side piece holds it from going this way. So then the other one works similar. At the gravel pit, they usually have a 10-foot wide bucket, so they can fill that up, and from here to the front of the box is 10 foot. So they try and load most of the material on one end of the bucket so that they can get most of it in the front of the truck. And there may be some that lands in this area, but when you're done, you can just shovel that onto the pile, lift this out, throw it on the pile, and close your tailgate so that you're not losing material along the way. I still had the problem of when they fill it that a lot of the gravel would go into the sides here. So what to do about that? Also in the front, there's that little lip of the 2x10 that gravel can get behind. So let's start with that part. This is only 1/4 inch plywood with a ripped 2x2 to hold it out far enough. So that piece just slides up there under the front lip of the box and is fitted to hold centered on the gravel box. So I can build some side rails for the box that can just butt up against that. As I just ripped some scrap plywood to put on the sides here at an angle, and I measured what the angle was, and I cut some 2x2s at that angle and attached the plywood to that, and then I will just slide those up underneath that side rail of the box, and then this will be flush with the box, and it just screws into the existing sides and extension of the box. Let's give it a try. So now I've got it situated so that when they fill up the truck with the loader, anything they miss the box with is going to fall into the box or off the side of the truck, which is the way I want it. They still might get a little bit on this tailgate, but like I said before, I can just shovel that onto the pile, throw this piece onto the pile, and close the tailgate. Another nice thing about this setup is when I'm getting the gravel at the pit, you don't want your shovels in the back of the box there, so they just slide right into there and any other equipment you bring along. The thing I like about this setup is you're shoveling at about just below waist high, so you're not even bending over to get that shovel of gravel. And I've found that I can get for most of the gravel, like 3/4 of the load, I can reach still underneath that load, and I can get 3/4 of the way up the box. So it's only till the very end of the load that I have to go to the front of the truck and shovel the remaining material forward. So once I've got the last part of the load moved up to this part of the box, I just put this little wall in here to block it from me pushing it forward. And that way I can reach it without having to go back in the truck later to move the rest of it forward. So I'm pretty happy with this system, and even if there is some gravel that somehow gets behind here, it's not that big a deal, and it's not that hard to take this apart and pull it out. Because there are other things I like to haul in the truck that that won't work with this here. The other thing I've done with my truck is, I don't know if you can see this, but there's these air shocks in the back. I had them installed, and you can pump them up. There's an air fitting right on the bottom of the bumper back here, right there. You just unscrew that, and it's an air intake, just like on a bike or a car tire. You can pump it up to 100 pounds. It's supposed to add load capacity of 40 pounds per PSI that you add, so that's like 4,000 pounds more, which is way more than your pickup is legal to haul. So I'm not advocating you haul more than you should. I also bought higher load range tires, so the idea here isn't to haul more than I can legally haul. It's just not to stress my suspension on the truck or the tires when I'm hauling. So that's the system I put together for hauling gravel and dirt in my truck, and it works pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. Now, you may not have an 8-foot box on your truck. You may only have 6 foot. I think you could do this with a 6-foot box too. I think the people at the gravel pit would still fill you up. They'll just pick up more of the material on one end of the bucket and try and get it to the front of your truck. And if you play your cards right, you might get a free hat from the gravel pit. That's all I got for today. See you later. Take care. Be safe out there.